In a quiet coastal town, where fog rolled through the streets every morning, lived an old fisherman named Samuel. One stormy night, he found a small stray cat trembling near the harbor, soaked and starving. Her tiny body was no stronger than a leaf in a storm. Samuel, whose own children had grown and moved far away, gently lifted her into his coat and carried her home, promising her warmth, food, and safety. He named her Whisper because her meow was so soft it sounded like a breath of wind. From that night on, the two became inseparable. They shared their lonely days in a little wooden cottage that smelled of sea salt and pine. Samuel spoke to Whisper as if she were family, telling her stories of the ocean, of the days he sailed with his father, and of the memories that still lived in the scent of the tides. Whisper would listen with half-closed eyes, curled beside him like a heartbeat he had forgotten he needed. Whisper grew stronger, her sleek gray fur shining in the sunlight. Soon, she began joining Samuel on his morning walks to the harbor, sometimes sitting on his shoulder, sometimes trotting beside him with her tail held high like a proud little flag. The other fishermen came to know them as a pair, greeting Samuel with a laugh and Whisper with a gentle scratch on the chin. But no one knew how deeply Whisper healed the loneliness that had clung to him since his wife passed away years earlier. Over time, Samuel's health began to decline. He walked more slowly and coughed more often, yet Whisper never left his side. She watched him carefully, sleeping near him every night and pressing her head against his hand whenever he seemed tired. One evening, after a long, cold day, Samuel returned home feeling weaker than usual. Whisper sensed it instantly, pacing around him and purring anxiously. He managed to reach his armchair and smiled at her concern. "I'm all right, little one," he whispered, though he knew he wasn't. Whisper climbed onto his lap, her warm presence calming him as he drifted into an uneasy sleep. By morning, Samuel did not wake. His gentle heart had stopped some time before sunrise. Whisper felt it first. She nudged him, meowed softly, and licked his hand, but he remained still, his face peaceful. Hours passed before a neighbor came to check on him and found Whisper guarding his body, refusing to move, her green eyes filled with a grief too deep for words. At the funeral, Whisper followed the procession to the hill overlooking the sea where Samuel was buried. She sat beside the grave long after everyone else had gone home, as though waiting for him to return. The villagers tried to take her in, but she always ran back to Samuel's grave each evening, pressing her small body against the earth. Days turned into weeks, and she grew thinner, her spirit fading. One night, during a heavy rainstorm, a young girl named Emma saw Whisper shivering beside the grave. Emma, who had recently moved to the village, lifted her into her arms, determined to give her the love she had lost. Whisper resisted at first, but Emma wrapped her in her jacket, spoke gently, and carried her to a warm fire and fresh food. Slowly, Whisper began to accept Emma's kindness. She learned the sound of her voice and the comfort of her gentle hands. Still, every morning Emma walked with her to Samuel's grave, letting her sit there quietly, honoring the bond that had shaped her life. Over months, Whisper grew strong again, becoming a loyal companion to Emma. She would lie beside her as she studied and curl up at her feet while she painted, purring softly whenever she sensed sadness in the girl's heart. Whisper never forgot Samuel Shea. Never would, but she learned that love could grow again, that hearts could heal, and that companionship was a gift both rare and precious. The villagers often said Samuel left Whisper just when she needed him most, so she could find Emma, who also needed someone to hold on to. And in that small coastal town, people still tell the tale of Whisper, the little gray cat who lost everything, found love twice, and taught an entire village that healing comes quietly sometimes, on soft paws, and always with hope.